not start with?
No, that's a child. That's a childhood addiction, man. I used to play that all the freaking time.
Or we could blame the audience.
Why would we do that?
We could say that Pokemon was a mass psyop by our non-existent audience.
Oh.
We could embed that in the beginning lore of the podcast. Listen, when people are here on episode 100, they're not gonna know what happened in the beginning.
Oh.
We can gaslight them.
Started.
I think we started on the starting soon. Yeah, no, we were supposed to use the starting soon screen, and I forgot.
Well, we could be talking like as the starting soon screen. Okay.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Luna, say welcome.
She's just still staring at you. She's been causing some issues. Oh, you gonna go to him?
No, you don't like me?
No, she's found that special spot where she's just not gonna move for the next 5 minutes, get bored, and then go right back.
That's fair.
That's exactly where she's gonna go.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know what this is.
Yeah.
We don't really.
We're still figuring out what this is.
We don't know what this is. So I reckon we'll start by, you should introduce yourself as like YouTuber Gavin, not business Gavin.
Oh, as YouTuber Gavin. Okay.
Don't like. You could go on the business side, but I don't think it's the time for that.
Nah, nobody wants to hear about that.
No.
Not on this podcast. Maybe future podcast, but not today's podcast. Anyway, Gavin is my name, but I also go by on YouTube as Brother Panic. No, not the conspiracy theorist Brother Panic, which is another channel, but the gaming Brother Panic channel, where I do all things horror gaming and apparently adding a new theme to the list through Presentable Liberty.
You're welcome.
Emotional trauma, which apparently everybody enjoyed. They loved watching me cry.
I can inflict you with a lot more emotional trauma.
But yeah, that's my gaming channel over there on Brother Panic, link in the description. But then we got another link in the description with your channel.
Oh, that's mine. You shouldn't look at it. It's horrible.
Don't listen to him. He's got a lot going on. He's
all C-tier content. I'm very upfront about it.
I think 1,060 views on
the live streams are popping. And no, it's 1.7 now.
Oh, and what was the stream though? Like.
Vellum. Vellum is a new. How do you explain it? It's a new military simulation game. It's hyper realistic, and right now it's credited by a lot of veterans for being the most realistic to feeling in a firefight. So they have the sounds right, and the places right, and how people conduct themselves is also right. So it's building a proper audience.
Right. So if you haven't checked that stream out, you don't know what it is, you should go to his channel, check out some of the newer live stream that he's just released.
I suggest you play it, but maybe not yet. Maybe give it some time until like it's affordable and not like $120.
It was $120.
Yeah, the supporter package is the only way to get it right now.
Makes sense. That's how most games start out.
I didn't pay for it. Thank you, Solid, for giving me the game.
Yeah, shout out to Solved. These games are getting expensive nowadays, though.
Well, that's because Vellum's not ready for the public's view yet.
Yeah.
Vellum this is the pre-purchase package when the game's still in development. So they'll own it when it comes out, but they also get a whole bunch of benefits.
So you'll be like all the beta testers who like ruined Marathon by going in and already knowing the game and destroy everybody else. Because you already were playing the game before it came out.
Well, no.
That's exactly what happened to me in Marathon.
That's not how Vellum works, though. Vellum is built in a way that you need to actually operate and speak with your squad. Because the only way to survive in Vellum is to apply real-world tactics. So what is used in the real world. And if you don't, you'll get wiped because somebody already is.
Okay, so actual in military, so I've got family that's in the military. You have to follow orders, because if you don't and you can't do what you're supposed to do in the squad, more odds are that you may have just killed your whole squad.
A squad also has a very specific fashion it's supposed to move in.
Yeah.
I did not operate by that fashion, and I got horribly murdered multiple times.
Gotta follow the rules. Gotta follow the rules.
Fighting terrorists is a tricky game.
Those are the interesting games where they penalize you for you have to follow the rules, and if you do not, and you're like me who doesn't, it's gonna punish you the whole time.
Well, it's not even the game punishing you, it's the other team punishing you. Because the other team knows how to operate as a squad.
Yeah.
That's usually how it looks when one team is getting whacked. One team is just doing the right thing.
Those are some of the interesting things they're doing on our channels. So we've started this one because Ash and I have a lot of conversations outside of streaming together. So we do a lot of collaborations where we stream together on different stuff, always from our own respective channels. And every time we're not streaming, we have these random conversations that come out. And this was actually a lot of your idea. Is we should do a podcast for this.
Yeah, and I continuously beckoned him, and now we're here. Do you like our here, I can even pick it up for you. Do you like our... No.
You broke it!
See?
You broke it!
Oh. They can hear us.
I'm glad y'all could hear us as... First podcast episode, you're going to have problems.
No. It's not a problem. It was a planned technical difficulty because I didn't want my...
He ripped the whole cable out.
I didn't ruin the podcast.
You know, that's actually a good thing to talk about when things don't go according to plan, or you kind of roll with it.
Well, I built the screen for that.
That is true. So that was a perfect opportunity. So that was planned. Not intent, but it wasn't.
I was gonna find one of the burning church, but I didn't think you'd like that.
No, I don't think I would have liked that one. But I do like our technical difficulty like we have now, because problems are gonna rise. Technical difficulties are going to happen.
And eventually, if the podcast goes well, we'll have more equipment, and then the more likely we are of starting a fire.
I just thought of a great story to add to this about technical difficulties, and I look at those as lessons learned. I do, so of course, working for my father, I do a lot of live streams for him, for his business.
Yeah.
And we did one live stream where Dad was actually not going to be on the live stream, so he recorded himself. And I played that recording on stream.
Yeah.
And so it was over Zoom, and we made a one-time offer to people who were not, because it was a paid subscription to be in this live stream. And Dad decided that this was going to be one where we want to get new followers. So we offered new people an opportunity to view the live stream. And one person did take us up on that offer. And they also discovered that I had not blocked everyone who joins can share or to use the whiteboard on screen. So it's interesting. While the video is playing, I see this whiteboard start barking. Before I could finish it, the man had drawn a full-size penis on my father's face on live Facebook for all to see. So, and what makes it even worse, there was only one other person on the live stream when it happened. And of course, it had to be my dad's mom, my grandmother, who was on live for the whole thing to happen. And I was so frozen. I booted the guy. I ended up telling everybody to end the live stream. I was going to end the live stream and send them the actual recording. And of course, we never invited non-subscribers because, I mean, value comes from if you're paying for something, you're not going to do something like that unless that's what it's intended for.
Yeah.
So I call my dad. That's the worst thing is when you got to tell your boss.
By the way, chat, this is the table. Yeah, I could have just... Gavin was right. Gavin said something great when we were on the technical difficulties grid. He reminded me that there's a remote. And I promise I'll do my best to use it in the future.
I still don't know all the things that it can do. I mean, we got some cool stuff here. Like, I mean, we could flip ourselves upside down. We can actually go, reverse. We can go...
Oh, I zoomed it in. Oh, I didn't show him the table.
We can also go this way.
Oh.
We can be on... I'm on this side now, instead of over there with you. Let's flip it over here. We can go, upside down. We can be in a whole different area. But anyway, so, long story short, I ended up calling my father, and what I learned from this is going into technical difficulties was that my father was actually excited about that it happened.
Yeah.
Not that somebody had, of course, drawn their privates over his face, but that it meant that he was getting big enough to get a hater.
Well, I don't think it was specifically a hater. I think it was more of
Just
one
like-
that falls into the troll
Yeah.
category. They don't
Troll,
do it because
yeah.
they hate somebody. They just do it for fun.
But he did enough to where they would notice and decide to go out of their way to do that today. Because really, that's when you're trolling people. Some of it is you're going out of your way to do that.
Yeah,
For
but
the
you're doing
sake
it for
of-
sadistic reasons.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you enjoy hurting or displeasing
And that
people.
drives me nuts.
They're everywhere, and they attack
Yeah.
people of all sizes.
Unfortunately, I mean, we're probably not friends with people like that.
I don't like Twitch for a reason. But,
I
you
see.
know, karma always goes around, and Twitch died, so...
And that's the reason why YouTube's still going today and still the top streaming service.
YouTube's been a good place to be for the last few years.
Not only that, talk about the changes that has happened in YouTube over the last couple months.
Months? Oh,
Or,
let's-
yeah, like
let's
last
say
year.
6 months.
Yeah,
and
something
it's
like
been
that.
fabulous. We've gotten so much that helps specifically the small creators to find better traffic.
I know. Like, I have started to say, because I'm not a big, neither one of us are like huge YouTubers yet.
No, I'm massive, bro. I'm massive.
All right, he
I'm up
is.
there with Mark.
I'm not, and so, but I have started to notice that my content is starting to get more traction than it used to, and that's crazy. And it also, not only that, my numbers are starting to rise, and it goes into a lot of what YouTube is changing. But you know, there is another thing too. There's a tool that I started using, showed him, and he went all in on it, and it is like really helped with YouTube growing your channel.
Purchased it.
He actually purchased it.
It's not bad.
I like using stuff for free. But what is the tool?
It's vidIQ. vidIQ is good for learning how to do things properly.
Yes.
It doesn't do things the best, but you can start to realize when you use it, if you pay for it for 1 or 3 months, and you go into it and you really use it on every video, you realize where it's going and what it's trying to get you to do. Once you know that, you really don't need vidIQ anymore. You can do it with anything, really.
Even the free one would even be beneficial just to have the checklist.
Well, the free one is beneficial. It gives you ratings of your tags and how to SEO modify everything.
Yeah, I like it especially because it helps me. It helps especially teach you, but it also gives you a general idea of what is YouTube looking for in a video that is supposed to pop off or a video that's gonna do well. It gives you the general idea of what is going to perform well.
It'll also teach you how to build a thumbnail, and a thumbnail is one of the most important things you can have.
If you see any of my old thumbnails, they were bad. When we first met, you went through, it was like, can we work on these? And then even then, I had to go get somebody to actually do them for me, and that took a while just to get those thumbnails right.
And money.
Oh,
It's a lot of money to do thumbnail work.
I spent a lot of money growing. That's another thing too, guys. If you're starting out as a YouTuber, don't spend a ton of money.
You don't need to.
Yeah, you really don't.
Biggest thing you can do is be consistent.
Yeah, I get it's what everybody says. You don't need a lot of money or any money to get started, but you really don't. Because you're going to get started. The biggest thing on any YouTube channel is going to be the personality.
Yeah.
Like,
And
there's
all
a
you do
reason
is
why.
accentuate your personality,
Yeah.
and you will get views eventually.
Like,
you will find your niche.
You just mentioned Markiplier. People watch Markiplier for Markiplier, not just because like he's a great YouTuber, but because like they like him.
Markiplier was just like every other
Yeah.
YouTuber of his time. It's just Markiplier had such a lovable personality that he rose to the great that he is.
Yeah, now he's an actor.
He is an actor, by definition.
Yeah,
In Hollywood.
and he's got his own film out.
Well, he already did that.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is now. Apparently there's some drama around it.
Oh. Well, we'll talk about that in another episode. We'll find out all the drama and talk about that.
Well, I mean, if people want us to, we can.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not there. We're pretty much like in these podcast episodes, literally going up on different conversations, things that we just randomly discuss. There's so much we forgot. We've not recorded, and we just had the conversation, and then realized this.
We're not allowed to talk outside of the podcast anymore.
No, well, it's kind of difficult to do when not only do we do this and we collab on YouTube, but we're also business partners at the same time. roommates, business partners. So some conversations are going to happen throughout the week. It's difficult when we get started talking about these.
I'm officially not talking to you from this point forward unless it's on the podcast.
Well, that's going to be really difficult because you and I have a meeting with a client like 2 on Tuesday.
But yeah.
So you're going to have to talk to me at some point.
We'll split the meeting in 2.
And I'm the one who has to make the links for those.
You'll go on for the first 15 minutes, or I'll go on for the second 15 minutes.
Okay. Sorry, we'll tell the clients, hey, we're in a no talking phase right now. So
yeah, we hate each other, but we do not want to displease you as our client.
So here's me for 15 minutes. All right, this has been a good conversation. Here's Ash for 15 minutes. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bounce back and forth. Don't tell me we don't lose points because of that. No, that's too crazy. All right, what? Okay, so we've talked about YouTube. We went from, where did we start this at? That's where all these go. Sorry,
somewhere in Europe where it's all started at.
You know what else started in Europe?
What?
The same thing I've been playing for the last 2 hours.
Oh,
Pokemon, yes. Oh, so yeah, that was starting this podcast out. I can't take really any credit. I kind of just showed up.
We have a moth friend.
We do have
His name is Gerald. I invited him to the podcast. Gerald, say hi.
I don't know if he's showing up on the camera.
Man, I hope he is. They're gonna think I forgot my lithium if he's not.
But no, Ash set all this up, and I was playing Pokemon on my phone.
It took a long time to set up too.
It did. It took long enough to where I could literally do probably an hour's worth of the game already.
It's set up for next time though.
Absolutely. So we don't have to spend too much time on these. We really need to have a list.
No, we don't need a list.
You don't need a list.
What's your opinion on the current socioeconomic climate of the Ghana situation? The Ghana situation's unaddressed, and I think it really needs to be addressed.
Elaborate, because you're asking a guy who
the genocide in Ghana.
I don't think I've paid any attention to that at all.
You don't know about the genocide in Ghana?
No, I know a lot of genocide, but I didn't know about that one.
Well, tell me something about it. I don't know. You gotta continue the conversation.
How do I talk about something I haven't heard about yet?
Respond. It's a genocide in Ghana. It's pretty self-explanatory. You should understand it.
I would like to know what's. You can't listen, guys. We have all these things that happen, and we feel what happened to cause the genocide. That's what I want to know.
It was hot. It was hot in Ghana.
Are you okay?
No.
Maybe don't take a Tabasco sauce right during the podcast.
Oh, it's hot in here, man.
You didn't put that in your coat, did you?
No, I drank it straight.
Oh. That's about the same time when you drank the expired milk. Not once, but twice. Because you wouldn't believe that your sense of smell was accurate, that it had turned.
It did happen twice.
Yeah. No, it happened the first time when I had the first one. I bought another thing of milk, and it did it again.
Tabasco, we're gonna give you a 7 out of 10 on the drinkability scale. We'll get back to you next time in the next podcast with another refreshment of my choosing. Thanks for watching. That's my segment. That's the Ashton Drinks Random Things segment. Back to you again.
Oh, back to me. Okay. You know what makes life easier in business?
Not Tabasco.
No, not Tabasco.
No.
But AI. Namely, the most common one would be ChatGPT. But it's also how you use it. I have, not just in business, but also in YouTube, because we just went through this with Iggy Bobigin on his channel, getting his new one started. Because showing him how to actually use it to make thumbnails, generate descriptions, titles. It really goes into, ChatGPT is a great tool if you know what to actually ask for.
Yeah.
And that's all AI in general is how do you ask it the questions to do what you want? And how much description? There's never enough description for ChatGPT. A 5-word sentence is going to get you nowhere because it's pulling from the entire internet just to get you.
You
your
need to be
answer.
hyper specific. But if you're hyper specific, you get exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's how, like, I literally just spent like 10 minutes in there making that character, which might be, if you guys want to see what I created on ChatGPT, literally just 5 minutes before this podcast,
You'd have to send it.
I would have to send it, but I would post it. We could post it on the channel.
Yeah, you can do that.
But I want to hear if they actually want to see it. If they want to see it, great. If not, I'm just going to keep it to myself for
Okay.
other uses.
Well, yeah.
You're dying over here. I can smell it from over here. No. I bet she can smell it too. Do you want to go over there now? Do you want to go over there and comfort him?
Oh, my lips are burning, man.
Oh, you should go drink some of that expired milk.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Oh, no, please don't. You're going to be stuck in the bathroom the rest of the night.
All right, I'm getting a sense from the forest that the next requested drink for Ashton to drink is expired milk.
What do you think, Luna? Is that what he's going to do? No, you're just here.
Don't say no balls to me. I'll fucking do it.
No, I would never. Like, that's the thing. I know you would do it.
But we just decided that we're not buying any more milk for a while because whatever happened,
No.
we didn't tell him about that. What happened?
Oh, I got really upset because let's talk about that. You tell the story since you're the one who made it. You made it.
No, not the meatballs. Tell them what happened with the milk trucks or something.
Oh, yeah, so right now, are you talking about the trucking issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the United States is going through, and the only reason I know this is because I work with a lot of different clients on social media, and so I have meetings with them, and I discover things about what's going on in the country with different industries. That's why I like the job that I do, because you learn a lot of things. And one of the things I learned is that currently we're having a issue with deliveries for produce. And it goes to the storms that were happening in Florida.
Is it produce or specifically milk? I thought
It's
it was specifically
just produce in general.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's everything.
in general produce. Yeah, and so a lot of it was coming from Florida. Florida had these storms that pushed back delivery dates on this stuff by I think through June. And so it's chaos right now for truck drivers because there are truck drivers who are taking on loads. There's some that are even dropping them off for a better offer because people are trying to get this stuff out.
Yeah.
And because that is such a pinnacle the places that are having the issues is all in one area, and so because of that, it's taking forever for people to get their stuff delivered. So now we're dealing with milk that's actually not as good as it's supposed to be.
Yeah, milk that's expiring 2 to 3 days before.
Oh, that was 7.
Expiration.
That other one was
That other
7
one was
days. It was supposed to go bad. It was supposed to stay good until the 25th, and I believe it was the 18th is when you drank it and realized it was not good anymore.
Everyone out there's gotta smarten up on buying milk. They gotta stop buying milk for a few months.
And if you're gonna
sort itself out.
If you're gonna buy milk, for us, we realized the full gallon is too much for us. We're not gonna drink all that.
Well, it's not good milk.
And it's not. So if you're gonna do it, you already know you're only gonna get one. Just go to your gas station.
We would
buy a little container of it that you know you're only gonna get one use out of, and then that's
your gas station. It's gonna be so expensive. Gas station. Don't go to the gas
Did
station.
you go buy the little?
Stop trying to bankrupt our audience.
Well, let's not waste money on a ton of milk. We can go get something smaller for cheaper. Or Brahms. Brahms has got the really small box ones.
What the fuck is a Brahm?
Oh, I forgot. You're from further north. You don't know about the ice cream of the South.
No.
Ah, yeah. So Brahms is a store. So Brahms is a southern ice cream / home market. It's like a farmer's market / ice cream and burger parlor thing.
Maybe we do need to come up with a topic.
I think so too, because we're kind of going back and forth on random discussions, which I can talk about the most random shit you will ever hear. That's just me. We can even let's talk about music. Let's talk about the differences in music. I find it interesting how, so I'm very much hard rock specific.
I'm not.
Not at all.
No. I drifted far from the tree.
But
Very alternative.
But what's interesting is that we do have, I think of one band in particular that we have in common that we both enjoy, the Black Veil Bride stuff.
I like Black Veil Brides, but I wouldn't put them in my top band still.
It's okay. I can work with that. But you know, I will admit,
Lovejoy's
I will admit I do find myself. Obviously, we were driving in the car and I was listening. I had a Lovejoy song pop up on my playlist, and I was like, "It's a good song." And when it's a good, if it's a good, like I can listen. I love rock and roll, but I can find myself listening to other genres. If the song's good, the song's good. I'm not gonna deny that.
I love Lovejoy's electric, but not too far electric vibe. Because it's obviously an alternative song, but it's not EDM, but it like treads the line with how they play the music.
Yeah, and they're finding, and that may be like where their uniqueness is, because like every band that's like starts to like make traction, they have something that makes them stand out.
You haven't seen it yet, but I really do suggest that you go through and you listen to Lovejoy's earlier albums. But through this one was number 4, I believe. 1 through 3, you can hear them develop from where they were to absolutely where they are. You can see the involvement in every album.
I think that's every good band. Like they have a development. I mean,
but none of them are bad.
Yeah. No, there's and I can tell you, there's a ton of like even my all-time favorite rock band. You can tell where they were doing good, and they were kind of repeating the previous album.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like Bon Jovi had a huge journey of just. So they had their first album, which, by the way, was all written, recorded all by Bon Jovi himself, which was Runaway. He wrote every song, recorded every song, and then they ended up re-recording it, which is the album we have today. But then they released Fahrenheit, which Fahrenheit tanked, which sucked because 2 songs that I enjoy that they play today are on there. And it was the same thing. It was literally a copy of the album they had just put out. And that's where they realized, okay, we gotta figure something out. And then that's where they started collabing with people, and you get the album Slippery When Wet, which song that's exactly it. But now they're no longer in that glam rock phase, they're country rock of some sort. You got
classified as country now?
They have some of their bigger hits that came out after like their heyday. It is, I'm trying to remember the name of the song. So after This House Is Not For Sale, which was by far their biggest album sale ever. That was also the first album where their lead guitarist, who helped write a lot of the hit songs, was not present because he had left. But that album did really well. But then they have Lost Highway is a country rock song. In fact, they even wrote a country rock song for COVID, when COVID hit, which is Do What You Can. And they had a country singer on that song as well. So you note it, and the reason why is because Bon Jovi loves Western. Absolutely. In fact, during their break between the Slippery When Wet tour and when they came out with the New Jersey album, Bon Jovi had gone out and recorded the Young Guns 2 album, and they performed some of those songs live every once in a while, which would be Blaze of Glory and... No, that's the only one. Blaze of Glory would be the only one they actually do because it was so popular when it came out.
Was it Metallica or AC/DC that was at Woodstock 1916 in Russia?
That would be Metallica.
Holy shit!
And that was Jason Newsted's first tour when he joined.
We're gonna. Here, you keep telling him about that, and
so
we're gonna show him it.
Yeah, we're talking about. So think about this. So Metallica, this is one. They're going on this Monsters of Rock tours where they're going on, and they've got bands like, I believe Van Halen was on the tour. Scorpion, I think, was on that tour as well. I'm trying to think of a couple other names that were on that tour, but it was like all heavy hitter names. And Metallica had just lost their bass player Cliff Burton in a horrible car accident. Or his RV, but you get this brand new guy, Jason Newsted, who, by the way, the first week he was on tour with them, he had burnt the tips of his fingers to where he couldn't play bass using the finger style of playing bass, so he had to play with a pick. Oh, and by the way, we're going on the Monsters of Rock tour. You're not going to start off in bars and clubs or these smaller venues. No, we're going to thousands. And by the way, we're going to go play in Russia, which at that time, Russia had no, like, the music that they were allowed, like, they were limited on what they could get. And then you're going to get Metallica coming in and playing this Woodstock. Like, holy cow. That was, like, for the ages. And it was like, they were the reason why it was so big is because the ticket, it was free. So it wasn't it was supposed to be a couple 100,000 that were going to be there, which still couple 100,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
But it ended up being, I believe, 2 million was the count for that day of people, which there were supposed to be soldiers, and even like they were saying, like the soldiers that were supposed to be watching it to make sure it didn't get out of control were joining in on this event. And I remember Metallica's being one of those, like, this is also post Metallica being a closing band. Metallica at the time was not a closer band at all.
Yeah.
They were they were considered an opener.
No, they were the whole show, man.
Yeah. They made the show, so it made it to a point where oh yeah, I love this one. So I think they come out to Enter Sandman, because this is right when Jason Newsted came in. The Black Album was the first album they released with Jason on the album. And I think Cliff, actually, they still had a lot of Cliff's tracks on there, but I know they recorded a little bit of it with Jason Newsted on there, because Orion is actually, that's on the album, is Cliff Burton's, like, a lot of his riffs combined into one song, and they did putting lyrics on it in honor of Cliff Burton.
Yeah.
This would be, Enter Sandman would be the song that they're playing right now, going in before they eventually turned it into a closer, because it was their hit song. Because you can kind of hit right through the break.
What an interesting way to break, huh?
Yeah. Another interesting fact about Enter Sandman, it is not Jason Newsted's, or not Jason Newsted, James Hetfield is not his favorite song of Metallica. In fact, when they first started recording it, James did not like the song at all. He didn't want to record it. And this is back when Bob Rock would have been the guy helping the engineer, helping them record everything. He challenged James to go back and re-listen and just re-listen to the words. And he eventually became, you know what, this is actually a really good song.
Yeah.
And he understood it. And so now he's okay with the song. Of course, it's one of those weird ones that he sat on those lyrics apparently for like a year before that actually ended up on paper. And a lot of stuff that I found that artists do is they write a lot of lyrics and they sit on those lyrics for so long. Not only that, there's another song. It's one of the only songs that Van Halen actually got an award for. It's their biggest song, but everybody recognizes the song Jump or Panama. Their song they actually got an award for would be Right Now, which is a piano song that Eddie Van Halen wrote the riff for. Well, this is also during the Sammy Hagar days. Sammy Hagar wrote these lyrics down, tried to show them to Eddie. Eddie never listened. Eddie wrote the riff for the song on piano.
Yeah.
Sammy didn't listen. And they went back and forth for a year, both trying to represent these riff and lyrics, until finally, I think about a year or two later, they finally came back together and were like, oh my goodness, these fit. And we have this song called Right Now. If you haven't listened to it, I recommend it. It was one of the first Van Halen songs that I listened to. And I had no idea, this is before I knew about their lead singer, David Lee Roth, and the Sammy Hagar, and knowing that they had two different singers in two different eras of music. And the whole issue of people being like, are you David Lee Roth, are you Sammy Hagar? I think both have their respective times in history.
Yeah.
Both brought something new to the band. Both were there at a time where the band needed a singer like them. For David Lee Roth, showman all the way through. You wanted a show, David Lee Roth was your guy. Then if you wanted someone who could sing and get those high notes, because after David Lee Roth, the songs that came out on the Van Halen albums, David Lee Roth could not sing. Guaranteed. The man, Sammy Hagar, had a voice. And fun fact, this is something you find out if you read, and I read a lot of their books. So I read Alex Van Halen's documentary, kind of like his homage to Eddie after Eddie passed away. And Sammy Hagar was actually brought up when Van Halen first got signed. They were talking about letting Dave go because Dave couldn't really sing, but he had the charisma for it. And they were talking about a new singer who had already taken top charts as a solo artist, Sammy Hagar. So Sammy Hagar was already on the radar as a alternative for Van Halen.
Was he self-named when he stopped charting?
Sammy Hagar was self-named. He was the Red Rocker, was what people called him, but he was self-titled Sammy Hagar. So Sammy Hagar already had a career before, and he in fact really did not like the idea of joining Van Halen at first because he'd already built his career on himself.
Yeah.
But once he started, but the cool thing about Sammy Hagar is an amazing, like, he loves music, loves everything that people do. And once he met with Eddie, they became close friends, and they started playing music together. And he realized, oh, there's something here. There's something we could do here. And so he's ready to jump for it because of the music.
Yeah.
So those are random things. I could talk about music, like the different rock and roll artists.
You love me by Atlanta.
Oh my goodness. See, that's the thing. My father always joked with me about how I was born in the wrong timeline. I was born in the wrong era of music because all of my music that I enjoy came from like the 70s and 80s.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of new stuff that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you think about a new band. Well, not they're still about 20 plus years old, and they just finally finished their contract agreement, which would be Avenged Sevenfold, who just finished. They just finished their contract. There's a lot of bands too. Last year, Skillet finished their contract obligations, so they had a new album come out called I think it's Ash in the Wind, which is now they can actually write more about what they're truly, because Skillet is actually a Christian band.
Yeah.
And so this new album is very focused on faith and family as the new album because they can. So you do have a little bit of restrictions on contracts on what you can write about and how much you can put your own persona into it. But Avenged Sevenfold just finished theirs, and so they've got some new stuff that apparently they're working on. And I get they're supposed to be on tour again too. But that's a new one. I think in 2012? 2012, 14 is when they really started getting any traction. Really started making traction.
Before that.
Yeah, because and they built theirs outright. I love theirs. Some of their documentaries. I watched a lot of those documentaries, but they were where they were getting started. Is just who did we know from school that was talented and could actually perform?
Yeah,
and that was, of course, the biggest one that they knew they wanted to get to be successful would be the drummer, which was Jimmy or the Rev. And they thought that he was actually overqualified to be in their band, that he would never say yes because he was better than the rest of them.
One guy who I really like, and he's a few years later than all of that, he'd be 2000s is when Travis Baker was big.
Travis Baker's
everywhere, dude.
I do know the name.
Startup band. He goes in, he teaches a band how to be a good punk band, and he leaves.
My goodness.
It's that. It's that simple.
So you've got that. So then it sounds like you've got the keys to success. You know how to be successful at a band.
So he goes and makes successful bands.
And then leaves. You know, that's almost, there's probably more money in that than actually starting your own band and just keeping it going.
I don't even think he does it for the money. He does it for the love of the game, I think.
But I think we need more bands actually getting out there because it's almost impossible now to get a band signed and actually making actual real money.
Well, you don't need to be signed.
Mm-hmm.
You can just make some real money. You just need
That
the
is
outreach.
true.
You need the marketing.
And it's actually a lot more difficult now because people are producing, like, I mean, now we have AI music getting created.
AI music doesn't matter. People will always like human more.
I agree. That's why I write music for my band, and I've been asked multiple times, hey, are you using AI for your stuff? And I think I've tried twice. And when I got it back, I was like, no, because it wasn't me. And so I scrapped it. But as far as like having it write the instruments, no, not touching that.
No.
Because music, as much as AI can make some incredible stuff, music's always going to be special because it's human emotions creating it.
I don't see why you couldn't use AI to analyze most other music out there, though.
I think for research and for like what you're talking about, but as far as like it being the creative output of how you're creating stuff, no. The music has always been unique because it allows us to go express things that we couldn't express any other way.
Yeah.
Playing, like you've got people like Eddie Van Halen expressed himself through guitar. He was a man of few words. He was actually the shy guy of the group. He didn't really like to talk and be in the public. But if he had a guitar in him, he could talk. So he created, he could do a horse or an elephant sound with his guitar. The man was funny, but he chose not to speak. In fact, he was one of the first ones that I found that put a guitar solo as a full song on the album. First album, which was called Eruption, is the song. And there's no lyrics. It's just him playing guitar. And it is still one of the coolest and probably one of the greatest guitar solos that's only instrumental in history.
Yeah.
And they played it.
Well, you remember Dope from Thea. And that's an interesting one. That's like 4 guitars and another guitar.
Oh my goodness, yes. There's a lot of these like really cool. Like I love that because that's what
some difficult shit to play.
Yes, and it takes a mind that I do not have to write it, but I know who does, and that is why Levi, my brother, is the guitar player in my band because I can play guitar, and I can write stuff. But Levi's got a mind that takes the tune and just slowly just starts to break it down into a whole nother level, and that was what Cliff Burton and Metallica was for Metallica.
Yeah.
Was he took the songs. He was also the only one who actually went to school for music. He was the only one with a degree in music to be able to understand. Everybody else played from purely just self-taught. And so he knew music, and so he could take them, show them the song, and that's why a lot of their songs that came from The Ride of Lightning or Master of Puppets were so great, is because of Cliff Burton and his part that he played in writing that stuff.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You know, I would love to figure out the mind of the Avenged Sevenfold, how they come up with their stuff. Because if you've heard any of their stuff, like Sinister Gates, that man, Hail to the King is the first song I heard from them. And Hail to the King is the most complex intro I've ever heard until I listened to the rest of their stuff. But that intro in of itself is a whole process to learn.
Yeah.
Because it's not just there's not a standard motion that you have to do to pick that out. No, it's it is down, down, up, down, down, up. It's like a modified sweep technique that he does. And somehow manages to also do pull-offs while he's doing it, where he just lifts his finger off the string to make the sound and keep going. And he's doing this all super fast.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we could go on and on about music. Let's where are we at on how long we've been talking?
I don't know.
So I want to make sure I don't want this to be music nonsense with Gavin, because Gavin can talk a lot on music. We may have to create a segment like that.
I think we may have.
I've spent the whole time talking about music.
Yes. I believe the last 20 minutes of our podcast shall be music centered.
This will be called Music Time with Gavin. I hope you guys have enjoyed my section of music.
I think we should put it in the middle next time instead of at the end.
We're going to do, so for the next podcast, we have a 2-minute segment of musical history with Gavin.
Okay.
There we go. 2 minutes of musical history. We're gonna go over these random subjects.
Are you gonna wear a nice old suit or something?
Well, you know what's interesting is I've already talked about I have the T-shirt for the band I talked about today.
Oh yeah, you could just wear.
I could wear those. I think I'm gonna bring Offspring into the mix because Offspring is the band I've really been listening to right now.
I don't know what I'll bring next time. It's not going to be...
Well, when we talk about Lovejoy, you need to wear your Lovejoy hoodie or something.
It's not going to be Tabasco.
All right.
I'm not going to bring Tabasco next time.
Guys, we hope you have enjoyed this, whatever this is.
No?
I don't
hope they enjoyed. I hope they felt misery and pain.
I don't hope that. I hope you guys enjoyed. We would also love your feedback on the podcast as well.
Well, what we want is questions from you.
Yes.
We could have a Q&A segment somewhere in the episode at some point. So, you should totally ask questions or tell us to do stupid things.
Yeah, think of this as an introduction on... We have a lot of subjects we could talk about.
Your ex just broke up with you? Vent in the comments, man.
Let's talk about it. let's talk about let's answer some questions. Let's express these feelings. What's going on?
Well, we can set up a call line if you wanted. You just gotta ask for it. G.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. That was your cue to do something.
No.
No.
I'm gonna end. I'm gonna leave it in awkward silence.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. This is gonna get really, really boring.
I believe in you, dude. One more try.
I think there's a dog getting hurt outside.